I feel like holding on through the trap.
Your show will go live in 8 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Soft Voice Radio.
You are now listening to WVSW Radio, the number one internet station. I am Dr. Elizabeth Smith, and excited to come with you today. We are an interactive radio station. It's the need at the grassroots level. We thank you for joining us. It would be a pleasure to have the host with the most. Presenting yourself, introducing to others, another than Dr. Elizabeth Smith. Make it do what it do.
Come on now, we're going to have an awesome time tonight. Woo! Sarah, thank you for joining us. Sarah, Pastor Katrina Wilker Smith, thank you so much for being here. And the next join us. We're going to listen to the set for about a minute. Then we'll get ready to get started with straight talk, no chasing. I just want you to listen to the words in this song. Because that's what we're all about. My, can't we talk about it? We don't own the rights to the music. We wanted to play something that's kind of get us started. I am Dr. Elizabeth Smith, the host, Straight Talk, No Chasing. I'm excited to come before you because we have a title tonight that I hope will allow us to continue with the relationship characteristic as well as things that happen in a relationship. The title is How to Have Relationship Imprinting. Said it again. How relationship imprinting. Think about that for a second. The chat line to advocate your thoughts is 347-857-4192. Press 1, and I'll make sure you identify the last 4 digits of your cell. Ask for your location. You can chat with Dr. Elizabeth Smith as we talk about how to handle relationship imprinting. Also, you can check us out on the web if you just want to listen to the show. That is www.blogtalkradio.com/WVSW Internet Talk Radio. Our show is being broadcast live on social media site. We have Facebook.com, Big O Live, TikTok Live, and you can check us out at Dr. L. D'Alberto Smith. That's D.R.L. D'Alberto Smith. Along with Instagram. We're partnered with the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter of Greenville, Alabama. And their handle on Instagram is Z Squad Greenville 1981. We have a YouTube channel that we ask you to subscribe, and that's the Smithway Enterprises 5018. So we look forward for you checking us out on one of the devices, one of the networks. And as I said, I'm excited, but I'm enthused too, because in September, we're going to be really, really moving to a milestone. That milestone will be September 27th, will be 7 years. So our 7-year anniversary of broadcasting, when we started off with one device and now we're up to 7 or 8 broadcasting live. WVSW Radio, the number one internet station. The reason why we said we're number one, we can broadcast us on different live devices, blog talk radio, so everybody can get the word all over the world. And it's exciting. That it was amazing. I'm gonna get to the last part of talking about closing out our introduction. I was listening to a content creator today. It was talking about they were broadcasting, I think, at the time on Instagram, and they was talking about adding another live broadcast, and they was able to add another live broadcast. That's why we said we're the number one internet station, because we're the first one, WVSW Radio, to bring all of these opportunities, all these live broadcasts together to get the word out. So it's been a blessing. That's why we give our praise to our Lord and Savior. We say the highest praise, hallelujah. And we thank you, God, for doing this for us. As well as we talk about connecting with us, you have an opportunity to just kind of where we stand for. We pretty much now, as we said, we're going to brand ourselves, and you can follow along, is that WVSW Radio, the number one internet station, has listeners and watchers in 45 countries. I'll say that again. We have listeners and watchers in 45 countries on 6 continents. So we're excited and thankful and grateful that we're able to get the word out all over the world. WVSW Radio giveaways, which we ask you to register for. Just send your name in. If you got your name already up here, you're part of the raffle where we raffle off hotel stays. We pay for the hotel stay per night. We'll pay for it if it's 4 days, 5 nights, 6 days, internationally as well as domestic. So we're willing to raffle off those very hotel stay, varies from, if you don't talk about the continent of the United States, from Atlanta to out on the West Coast, out to Hawaii, Las Vegas, the Grand National Park. We have New Orleans. We have Florida, several places in Florida, and as well as Nashville. And we're moving it around, try to give you a chance, if you win, to just take a trip on us. But we thank you for supporting what we're trying to do. We want to make sure we give back. Now, to register, if your name is up there, you want to be registered, all you have to do, type in the comment, put your name. But there's something else we ask you to add to it, and if you choose to put it on there, it's fine, you don't. We also give away, as a hotel stay, gift cards, gas vouchers, as well as food vouchers, movie passes. When I say giveaways, in the raffle, as we give car wash and books from our authors who've been here before and decided to leave a book with us, but we also purchased several books from those individuals. So we'll be raffling those books. We also will be giving away some of these books as well, relating to the authors who's here and share with you. We'll free, won't cost you nothing. Just be able to put your name down. When I say we're going to give away a certain book, just put your name down, the address you want to be. We'll get it to you as soon as possible. But it's why our show is going on tonight. It's not one of the shows we're going to give away one of the books. We're also excited because into the fall, we got a lot going on. The weather eventually going to change, and we want to make sure that you know that we'll be broadcasting 6 days a week. That's including Saturday morning. We have a sports talk show on Saturday morning, getting ready to see some football on Saturday. So that's a new network, that's a new talk show, a podcast that we will be having. So we're really excited about it. Now, what we want you to do is send your name along with a means of transaction. That is what we're going to do. We give love offerings, and I'll tell you what we're giving away. And you don't have you're registering, but you don't have to win a love offering. We're going to send it to you because God has blessed us to give back. We have availability. You send your name with either Cash App account if you have one, or PayPal, or Venmo, or Zelle. Send it to Lorenza. That's Lorenza. D as in David. SMITH 15 @gmail.com. And what we ask you to do is, as I said, love offer from $5 to $100. It's whatever we send to you. It might be $100, maybe, but you don't have to make a request. We're just going to send this as a love offering because God has blessed us to be where we are and to be able to give back. It is awesome. It's a joyful thing. So we thank you by supporting us. So we're in a position to give back. We ask you to sow a seed of $1, and you can do this a couple ways. Now, you can see $1 with WVSW radio station through Cash App. That's $ Lorenza, D as in David, SMITH. Or you can do it through PayPal, which is Lorenza D. Smith 15 @gmail.com. And through Zelle, you can do it there. It's 334-301-8775. You said, man, it ain't worth me sending $1. Well, send whatever you want to send. But the minimum we're requesting that sowing a seed with this radio station is $1. Now, if you want to purchase a badge, you have that opportunity to purchase a badge. You want to purchase a heart, or you want to send a like up, and you want to send $1 along with the like, it is fine. You can do that. We thank you for your support. Thank you for just giving us an opportunity to come before you. Because if you're watching us, that means you took a minute of your time to be here, because that's the minimum show a minute you can be on. But we thank you for doing that. As we move forward with our show and our title, we want you to think about, can we talk about it? Just heard that. Can about it. And we want to talk about how to handle relationship imprinting. And this is a topic that came to me the other night, and I thought it was so important that we talk about it. So a lot of people don't realize throughout your life, you have been imprinted in relationships. And sometimes that imprint will last a mighty long time, meaning that imprint will, no matter what you encounter after that, that imprint that you occurred when you was younger or when you first started off in a relationship is with you today. And sometimes you're caught trying to see which one was better, which you should be able to move on and don't think about it. But once you imprint, it's an imprint on you, we want to talk about it. And we want you to understand exactly when we talk about imprinting. So what does relationship imprint mean? Imprinting is a psychological phenomenon that at times that refers to people forming relationships. See, when you first formed a relationship, that person that you gave an opportunity where both of you had a relationship, they had an opportunity to imprint you, and you also imprint them. There's many ways you can be imprinted in a relationship. But we have to keep in mind that the other person imprinted you with someone as a human imprint. See, there are different meanings and content dealing with imprint. But some good examples will be shared, like human imprinting. See, in humans, imprinting can refer to how people form social emotional bond. That's why we always talk about in relationship, for you to have the get the most out of your relationship, get favorable outcome, you got to heal from the previous relationship. A lot of people talk about baggage. See, baggage is bringing some traumatic experience that you into your next relationship. That's why you have to take it upon yourself to address those traumatic experiences. And in other words, I keep it a little bit more simple, like timestamps. See, in our mind, we see things in its timestamp in our memory, and it will be with us. And eventually, it can lead to a trigger. Triggered about what happened may have been 25 years ago, something that may have happened 5 years ago, something that happened about 10 years ago. You are imprinted when you have that happen. That's what we're talking about. You think about that first opportunity when you was humanly imprinted. And that happened to us. And this is an emotional bond. And that emotional bond impacts you throughout your life. If you was in a toxic relationship, if you never heal from that toxic relationship, you're going to bring whatever you encounter there from that relationship into your next relationship and your next relationship until you go through the healing process. It's important that we consider using the support we have, the support that truly I have no problem. I'll give you a shout out from the highest mountaintop because twice a month, and I have no problem telling people this, I get support from counseling so I can be the best version of me. It's no shame in my game. I don't care what the stigma is in the community. I got to make decisions for me. Things I encountered that may have imprinted me many years ago, if I didn't address them, I will continue to bring them into every relationship I have. How are we creating this situation that the people you're in a relationship, because of the imprint of somebody that you created that so emotional bond with 25 years ago, you're going to be comparing that person to that person. It's amazing. But everybody after that imprint going to be brought into play. You're going to look at them. And I always say I never want to be in a relationship when I am paying and going through the consequences because I'm there, called collateral damage. I don't want to be in that kind of relationship. You need to heal. If you're not quite healed yet, you don't need to be in a relationship. So when we're talking about human imprinting, we're just talking about the social, emotional bond being first that impact your life. I mentioned some examples. It's when you first time you was involved with someone, you have a tendency to always remember that. Whether it was intimate, it could be intimate moments. You always, that set the standard for who you're going to be and how you respond to a relationship in the intimate part of a relationship. Sometimes you get imprinting from, as a child, seeing your parents. Your parents are married, they call child's marriage imprint. See, when you observe your parents' relationship, that's why we say we have to make sure our children see us doing the right thing. See, a lot of people say, well, he or she didn't see me like that. He didn't see me. He saw it or she saw it. So it put an imprint on him how a relationship should be. So it's called a marriage, a child's marriage imprint. Observing their parents' relationship. This can shape their personality, their identity, and influence their future relationship. It's so important that we remember that children that observe things, because they're the most observant group of individuals in the human race. They observe everything. You as a child, you observe things. If they see something negative, they're going to have a tendency to kind of hold on to that in that time stamp. And then when they in future, they may say, well, I can't do that because, it didn't work for my mom, my dad, my uncle. But the people you see in your life influence you in many ways. It shapes your personality. Let me give a shout out to Miss Bush, EDS, a member of Zeta Phi Sorority Incorporated. Again, saw Pastor Katrina Roper Smith, member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and also the co-owner Mary Ruth's Restaurant, the best Southern cooking in South Central Alabama. We'll run the advertising and promo in a minute, but we truly want to thank you all for joining. There are many others that are slowly joining. Here we got Shocker Blue 5. Joining us, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much, Sarah. All of you all, thank you for taking time to be here. As we talk about imprinting, we just mentioned about, we're talking about human imprinting. It's things you see and observe, creates an emotional bond with others. It also creates your thought process of how things are supposed to be, especially if you see relationship that may have been positive, relationship which may have been negative. It creates how you operate in future relationships. See, it shapes your personality, your identity, your influence for the future. See, imprinting also can refer to the intense emotional attachment people form with specific people. That's imprinting. They imprinted you. That's why you find people want to go back to relationships when they was imprinted. They want to talk about those things that happened then, but forgot that you're no longer with that person. You're in a relationship or marriage or whatever it may be with someone else, and you're still thinking about the imprint that occurred when you was younger. So it's important that we begin to address it by seeking counseling, seeking therapy, support. You got to get someone who don't have the skin in the game. So I know you're a Christian and practicing Christian. Praise our Lord and Savior, just help you make it through. But the counseling is here for a purpose too. The therapy is here for a purpose too. As we continue to look at the emotional attachment that you form with someone, it may have been 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you did this with this person, and you haven't done that with any other person since then, even though you're not with that person. Then you're in a situation where you've been influenced, or it's emotional attachment you have with that person. A lot of times that comes into play, and it leads you to being a manifest an infatuation, and it also gives you the desire to be close to the person. The imprinting is for real. See, when you look at it in romantic context, imprinting on someone can also refer to intense emotional attachment that's formed toward a specific person, similar to the concept of imprinting ourselves. This phenomenon can manifest as strong feelings of infatuation and desires to be close to that person all the time. So you find yourself comparing your today's relationship or your today's mate with someone you may have been in a relationship 10 years ago, 20 years ago. True. The old saying about, you can bring the good from that relationship, something that makes you better, or you can bring the negative from that relationship. What you call toxic relationship, you can bring that into your new relationship because you've been imprinted. It's been manifested. It's a phenomenon. The emotional attachment you have and had with that person, you still have. And sometimes it's hard to let go. So the new person got to fight that and all the other things that to deal with. So make sure you understand relationship imprint, because it can be with you a mighty long time. Let's give a shout out to our first sponsor. I'm always excited to play their advertisement. That's Mary Ruth's Restaurant in Georgiana, Alabama. I want to say thank you so much, Brother Marvin and Sarah Katrina Roper Smith, on what you all are doing down there to that community. We couldn't have asked for anything more than you two making it do what it do.
Are you looking for home cooked food in a family-friendly environment? Well, look no further than Mary Ruth's. Mary Ruth's Restaurant, located at 261 State Highway 106 in beautiful Georgiana, Alabama. Great food in a family-friendly environment. Mary Ruth's Restaurant offers home-cooked breakfast. All the fixings, you name it, they've got it. And not just home-cooked breakfast. Home-cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Mary Ruth's Restaurant specializes in a meat and 3 vegetables meal. And meat and 3. Also, home-cooked hamburgers, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and much more. Seafood Fridays. Mary Ruth's Restaurant has Seafood Fridays. Barbecue Saturday. And it's all cold fresh and made from scratch, including the desserts and so much more. Eat good. 261 West State Highway 106 in Georgiana. Mary Ruth's Restaurant. Call today, 334-362-4032. That's 334-362-4032. Mary Ruth's Restaurant. Home-cooked meals. Family-friendly environment. Great food. Who can ask for more at a restaurant? Mary Ruth's Restaurant in Georgiana. Breakfast from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Lunch from 11 until 2. And dinner from 5 until 9. Barbecue Saturdays begin at 11 a.m. and last until 9. Mary Ruth's Restaurant in Georgiana. Home-cooked food with a family-friendly environment. Come on, guys. 11 a.m. until 5 p.m.
It was shout out to the co-owners. That's Marvin Lawlaw Smith and Sarah Pastor Katrina Roper Smith. Marvin is a brother as well, a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Sarah Katrina Roper Smith, member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And if you want to connect with them, we mentioned the address, but I'll repeat it. That's 261 State Highway 106 West, Georgiana, Alabama. It's the best Southern cooking in South Central Alabama. So we're excited to be able to advertise. If you're traveling in South Central Alabama or going to the South or the North Coast of Florida, stop in if you use 65 South and get off at the Georgiana exit and drive about a mile and a half up and get on 106, 55 to 106, and bam, you're there. They love to have you. Tell them you heard it on WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. And I am Dr. Lewis D. Smith, and I'm excited to come before you today. We want you to be part of the show by calling in. The call-in number is 347-857-4192. Press 1. I'll make sure I get you on the line by identifying the last 4 digits of your cell. Ask for the location that you can chat with Dr. Lewis D. Smith, and we talk about how to handle relationship imprinting. We share with you. It's a social emotional bond. It is an emotional attachment. Wherever in your life that you had that attachment, and it was so emotional that you couldn't let go, but you had to let go, but you still carried it with you. That means you need to get some healing so the next possibility or chance you have to be bonded with someone, that won't come into play. So let's make sure we definitely work hard on that. The next thing we want to focus on is what does imprint mean in a person? You ask yourself, what are they talking about? Think about it, have I been imprinted? Do I have an emotional bond with someone? Do I have an emotional attachment with someone? Am I infatuated with someone? These are the things once they've been imprinted on you and it's time stamped in your memory, it will stick with you. So what does imprint mean in a person? See, an occasion when an event or experience become fixed in your memory and leaves its mark. Now, I'm going to start right there because you got to understand, when things happen in your life, regardless they're traumatic or just normal things happen, It's a time stamp that's in your mind, and it can be triggered by a lot of things. And that's why sometimes we get upset when we think about things, because it's time stamped in our mind. So when the imprint on you will be involved with something you experience, some kind of event, and it's fixed on your memory, and it leaves a mark in some way, appearance. For example, war, PTSD. See, war has left its imprint and strain on people who served in the war. Or if you encounter a lot of violence or traumatic experience, even in its domestic area, which is the United States, then it'll be time stamped and it's the imprint on your memory or your mind. It has a strain that you face as a person, that you know it was challenging. And you wonder why you can't get rid of it. I'm always talking about support and help. Talk with someone over a period of time, because see, the healing process is not one time you go talk with that person or 2 times. It might take years. They said if you was in a relationship or marriage for 10 years, it takes over half the time for you to put yourself in a position so you're ready for the next relationship or the next marriage. If you was in that 20, it takes 10 years, at least half of that time, to get yourself. And yes, you might be in counseling and therapy for that amount of time, because the ideal is to be the best. You want the best opportunity. You want a favorable outcome, and you have to go through the work to get there. So when we're talking about imprinting, we have to always remember that individuals typically, like say, young animals or young humans form a strong, often irreversible emotional connection. For example, if you get a pet, dog or cat, if you get it as a kitten or pup, it's going to bond to you. But if you get one that already have some years, a little bit on the mature side, they may bond with you, but it's not the same as when you got them when they were. See, when things happen to you as a young person, sometimes become irreversible. It's an irreversible emotional connection to another individual, another object. Have you had that in your life? We gave the example of child marriage, children seeing their parents married, and they see the relationship. That helps them to emotionally kind of understand things either going to be good or bad, positive or negative. So make sure we try to present to our children the best opportunity to see bonding, so they can understand that they're going to take this into the future, and they'll be part of their future relationships. If you've been imprinted, it's often irreversible. You're always going to have that emotional connection, even though you're not with that person. You might be with someone else, but you have that emotional connection. The imprinting process typically occurs during a critical period early in life. So if you experience something from birth to 8 years old, it'll be with you. It's an imprint. If you experience something like dating early in life, it's going to be imprinted on you. So we have to understand that imprinting is a specialized form of learning that occurs during a short, sensitive period in the development process. This development process creates strong preference. Creates strong preference. It might be a specific food. It might be a specific habit. It might be a specific site. That's what imprinting do. See, imprinting can propagate parental behavior patterns in our future generation. So we ask the question, what does in a person? Take what we just shared and put it into your relationship. Your past experience and events become fixed in your memory, and it leaves a mark. That is relationship imprinting. Your past experience become fixed in your memory, and it leaves a mark. It's how you address it to get over it and get in a position so you can move forward. Don't get out here when you're coming out of something that may have been good toxic. You come out of something that wasn't good. Then you come and want to go into another situation and ain't healed yet. The healing process don't have a time. The ideal is not to get through it and get into another relationship. The ideal is a version of yourself. Because you want to make sure your behavior patterns are in order for you to be successful in the future. The same behavior pattern can be passed on to your children. You can imprint your children because everything you need to do are you doing. Let's give a shout out to our next sponsor. This is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. We have listeners and watchers in 45 countries, and we're really excited to be able to bring this to you. We're on 6 continents, so this is a chance to get the word out. We're talking about how to handle relationship imprinting, and we all go through it. We all experience it. Our next advertisement is from Lena Payton Webb, the 2024 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner, presented from the White House. President Biden, Vice President Harris presented this award to her, and she was on our show before that happened, but we got a chance to get it. But we advertised Impressions Publishing. Lena Payton Webb.
Share your inspiring story with the world? Look no further than Blue Impressions Publishing, the premier publishing company that specializes in creating meaningful and impactful books and journals. Blue Impressions Publishing, veteran owned by author Lena Payton Webb, offers comprehensive services to bring your vision to life. Their mission is to empower writers, mental health professionals, consultants, coaches, and spiritual leaders to make a positive impact through their publications. Not only do they publish your words, they give you the strategy to be a successful author and earn an additional source of income. So whether you're an aspiring author or a story go untold. Visit the website today, yourartisticexpressions.com. You can also call 833-951-2665 to learn more about their services and to get started on your publishing journey. Blue Impressions Publishing, where inspiring stories leave a lasting impression.
Blue Impression Publishing, where inspiring stories, lasting impression. Lena Payton Webb. You can go to Facebook, type in Lena Payton Webb, as well as you can give her a call at 833-951-2525. Thank you so much for being here and sharing and hearing her send out to everybody her advertisement. We thank Lena Payton Webb for allowing us to do this. She's a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, so keep doing what you're doing. Sora, making it do what it do. Like I said, the 2024 presidential lifetime achievement winner. She's one of the winners going to be recognized at the White House. Congratulations, and thank you so much. Patronize Blue Impressions Publishing. Thank you so much. As we move forward, we want to see the importance of relationship imprinting. We just talk about being a emotional attachment. We just talk about a behavior pattern. We want to look at the relationship imprinting. See, relationship imprinting or imprinting in psychology is the process of social emotional bonds with others that can impact a person's entire life. Now listen to that now. It's a social emotional bond or bonds with others can impact a person's entire life. So whatever you encounter younger going to affect your entire life. It's going to affect you as an adult. And when we talk about relationships, I always try to refer to this, and I want you to kind of think about this. When we're younger, sometimes we are witty enough to make choices that are fit success. Make choices based on favorable outcomes. Don't make choices because it makes you feel good. Don't make choices to be in a relationship that you may be imprinted that's going to affect your future based on the tingling inside of you. Vet that person, find out who that person is, so you make sure that when you're in that relationship, there won't be any negative things that happen later on because you didn't know, because you didn't vet. My saying to all of you, when people show themselves, believe what you see. Then you need to take the next step of not let the idea of, well, I'm going to give them another chance. No, run as fast as you can. Because if you stay, they're going to imprint you. They're going to create that attachment. They're going to bond with you. It's going to be hard to remove that imprinting from you. So when we talk about these relationships, we often talk about early childhood. But the concept of forming attachment and emotional bond continue throughout a person's life. Throughout your life, you're going to experience attachment to someone. We always say when you're no longer with the person, it was a season. But some people have one season that lasts even when they're not with that person because of the attachment, because of the emotional bond. That's going to be throughout your life. See, imprinting can help people develop social and emotional intelligence. We call that, when we're talking about social IQ and emotional IQ, we're talking about social wellness and emotional stability. That's what imprinting can develop. It also can regulate your emotions. It can form a healthy relationship. See, when you do it right, you have an opportunity to be successful. It was Ibrahim Y. Thank you so much. Attempting to join us, but at this time we're not adding individuals in right now, and I'll let you know when we're going to do that. Thank you for making the request. Let's make sure we understand that imprinting will affect your relationship today and in the future. That attachment you had when someone imprint you, you may no longer be with that person, but the imprint was so strong. It affects your social and emotional wellness that you can't operate in the future due to what you went through in the past. That's why you have to heal. That's why you have to seek help and support. See, when we're talking about, which is a attachment, it's critical. When you get attached to someone, it's critical for emotional and neural behavior development. Twitch. Lack stable ability emotion. We sometimes can't get over it unless we get help and support. See, imprinting contributes to a person's ability to form healthy relationships. Again, regulate emotions. A lot of people operate with feelings. They get triggered. And when they trigger, they move to sign language. And the acronym of sign is they're going to shame, insult, use the guilt, and they're going to have the need to be right. That's the sign language. When you get emotional challenge, when you can't regulate your emotions, you will struggle with having a healthy relationship. Imprinting develops social, emotional well-being. This is how important it is. Let's give a shout out to our next sponsor. That's L&T Starworth, L&T Starworth Lawn Service. Those are the manicure experts of South Central Alabama. Give a shout out to Mr. Anthony Starworth.
That's right, Harvard. Check out L&T Starworth Lawn Service, LLC, the manicure expert in South Central Alabama. Actually, call Mr. Tony Starworth at 300-7401. Again, that's 334-300-7401. Facebook and check out Anthony Starworth. DM Anthony, and you can connect with me. We look forward to making it do what it do. Here we go. We're ready to rock. It's all they say. Moving on out. And do my job.
L&T Starworth Lawn Service, the manicure expert in South Central Alabama. You can give Mr. Anthony Starworth a call at 334-300-7401. Or go to Facebook, type in Anthony Starworth, DM Anthony, and you can talk with him, communicate with him, let him know. He is the manicure expert of South Central Alabama. But besides that, he also will clean off your property, move off trees and logs and debris. So give him a call. And thank you, Mr. Starworth, and your team for supporting WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. Dr. Lawrence D. Smith, and we're excited because we have a topic that's dealing with relationship. We've been doing this with relationship characteristics and traits for the last 3 months. We're going to continue because you'll find out there's more than just one or two. There are many of them. We're talking about imprinting in your relationship, better known as how to handle relationship imprinting. What are some signs you need to be aware of to help you deal with this situation? The signs of imprinting in a relationship is trauma bonding, traumatic experience. This can lead to secret and isolation from friends and family. You might hide the truth about the relationship from others to protect your partner. Because we say when someone is hurt, or we say they hurt you, they humiliate you, they abuse you, they're trying to control you, and that imprint will stay with you way beyond that time right there. So you have to seek the best way out of this situation and then get the help so you can be the best version of yourself. See, when you hide the truth about your relationship, not only protect yourself, but protect your partner because they're abusing you, they're humiliating you, they're hurting you, then you're going to become in a mindset of a protector when you're protecting for the wrong thing. Most of the time, you're afraid of judgment from people. You don't want nobody to, talk with you, but that's why when you can recognize it, if you can get out of that situation, seek the support you can get, support to get out of it, and support to continue to be the best version of yourself. See, another thing is jealousy. See, jealousy is always a sign of relationship imprinting. See, this can stem from insecurity, that you're not enough for your partner. It often arises when partners talk to or hang out with someone that they are attracted to sexually. When you're hanging out with someone, your partner said, "Oh, you just trying to do this, trying to get in," they're jealous. It's a sign. When people show themselves, leave it to see. Constant criticizing you. If your partner is constantly criticizing you, even if the criticism seems small, it can make a difference, as well as it's difficult for you to feel accepted, loved, or validated. Difficulty sharing feelings. If people keep criticizing you, trying to control you, it's hard to be able to share your feelings because you believe that person will attack you. See, you're not mode all the time. See, difficult sharing your feelings is when you are unable to identify and express your feelings. Challenging. Make it challenging. So the ideal is understand those signs. Trauma bonding. You're bonding with someone, you go isolated, and they're going to try to keep you isolated so you won't be around your family and your friends. Jealousy. They're jealous, they're insecure, they're not able to deal with you even being out. Because sometimes they just think that you're not enough. You're just not enough for them. They want more. Constant criticism. No one can take that. If your partner constantly criticizes you, no matter how small the criticism is, it's difficult sharing your feelings. Difficult to sharing your feelings. This affects communication and it affects intimacy. Watch out for the signs because it can be imprinted on you, and it's hard to get rid of that imprintment, we'll say. We want to give a shout out to our next sponsor, Soap Gems by Jackson and Grace. Truly excited that these individuals decided to work with us, decided to allow us to advertise what they're doing. And we're truly thankful. I think I keep strolling over it. Make sure Soap Gems by Jackson and Grace.
If you want to purchase some of the best soap and perfume scents in South Central Alabama, contact Soap Gems by Jackson and Grace. The owner is Miss Jennifer Jackson. Contact number 251-31344. On Facebook. Type in Jennifer with one N Jackson or Charlie Angel. There's several items like bombshells, chance of a lifetime, loving lover, straight savage, manpower, lip lotion, and becoming lavender sea soap. So please check it out. That number is 251-369-1344. Soap Gem by Jackson and Grace.
Jennifer Jackson, Soap Gems by Jackson and Grace, the owner of Soap Gems by Jackson and Grace. It's a family-owned business, and you can give her a call at 251-369-1344. They have the best soap and perfume scents in South Central Alabama. So give them a shout out. Go to Facebook, type in Jennifer Jackson or Charlie Angel, and you can DM them to let them know your interest. Thank you so much, Jennifer Jackson and your team with Soap Gems from Jackson and Grace. When we talk about the characteristic of relationship imprint, there are two most important characteristics of imprinting, and they are irreversible. The property that after imprinted by a specific object or organism will always prefer that stimulus for that person or object. The second one is extinction of critical periods. These are two characteristics of imprinting. And extinction of critical period is that critical time when you were beginning to bond with that person emotionally, and you got attached to that person. That's critical, and it's irreversible sometimes without seeking counseling, seeking therapy, seeking help and support. That's the characteristic of relationship imprinting. What is imprinting in a relationship? The one people can relate to and think about is sexual imprinting. That first sexual partner that you had put an imprint on you. That first sexual partner that you had imprinted you. And that's nothing but when a human develop a desire for a certain type of person based on experience they had in their formative years of their life. So that's the early years, the early relationships you had, some of the first relationship that you have. That's sexual imprint. See why this is us in regards to, for example, animals. It occurs in And it is why we might find ourselves with a type, a certain type, trying to get that imprint, that first opportunity, that first attachment, that first bond. That's imprinting in a relationship. We have emotional imprinting. Remember we talk about attachment and bond? Emotional imprints are values that are often unconscious as a result of experience that we had when we were younger. Emotional imprints are often triggered by people or situations that elicit a conditional response. And that response is of anger or frustration. That's why when you're having a conversation with someone and you're talking with them, they want to jump in and cut you off because it triggered something. It made them think about something that occurred previously in life, which was that imprint. See, everyone's emotional imprint are unique. Unique to their life experiences. Marriage imprint. The marital relationship observed by the child acts like a blueprint upon which all future intimate relationship will be built. See, when parents do a better job of modeling the imprint from which their children base their own love story on, children often grow up in a variety of living arrangement that lends a less than ideal institution of marriage. The marriage is the opportunity to see couples working together either successfully or working against each other. Children observe that. And that's how they're gonna set their imprinted to the point that they're gonna see how their relationship, my relationship wanna be like, I don't want my relationship like my parents. I want something different. It's powerful. So let's make sure when we do things, especially in front of our children, don't assume they don't see you. You are now imprinting them. Especially if you're in a marriage or you're not married. They see things in your relationship life they probably don't need to see. But when they see it, this is going to affect them even in the future. It'll affect them for making decisions. It'll affect them whether they want to be married or not married. See, through the data, through blackdemographics.com, Black Stats by Blacks, as well as the Pew Center reporting, it shows that of the African American culture, we only have 28% of our culture that are married. We have 72% is not. We have 80% of our single parent homes are led by women. Some that never been married. So those children grow up and don't see anybody but mom or dad. They've been imprinted. So why would I want to get married in the future and to improve our culture by getting married? Because mama didn't do it. She made it. And we have to keep in mind what we want to model for our children. Parents are the best model for the success of our children. See, the last thing about marriage imprint, see, your marriage imprint, of course, may go way beyond learning from photos in the parlor to include the daily interaction you witnessed between your parents while you was growing up. The exchanges that you see as a child between your parents, whether they're married or not married, some intentional, other inadvertent, becomes that child blueprint. It became your blueprint for intimacy. I am Dr. Lawrence D. Smith, the host of Straight Talk No Chaser on WVSW Radio, the number one internet station. We're excited to come before you. The call is 347-857-4192. Press 1, and I'll make sure I get you on the line. Identify the last 4 digits of your cell. After your location, you can chat with me, and we're going to talk about how to have a relationship imprint. If you've been on here, hopefully something was shared. If not, you can share it by using one of the social media sites that you're on. Go to the comment section, type in your comment, and I'll make sure I read your comments because it's important. I like for you to send as many likes as you can. If you like what we're talking about, send it up. Send a heart up. Buy a badge. Buy a heart. Send $1 for a like by sowing a seed. This is what we want to share with you, and hopefully the relationship aspects of life, we want to talk about it because your blueprint of intimacy has already been set. Now, if you know you're not operating in a level where you can be comfortable with it, seek the right counseling, seek the support, seek a therapist so you can, don't let the stigma of a Black American or Black African American neighborhood or community, when we talk about the stigma of don't nobody want to go to that person to get counseling because something got to be wrong with you. See, there's something wrong with you if you don't, and you know you have challenges. The blueprint needs to be adjusted. This you're going to carry into a relationship where you don't carry any feelings, you don't carry any ability to be attached, you don't carry. That's why I see in today's society when we got more of a hookup culture now, and there's no bonding. Individuals are scared to bond or attach to someone because they feel like or seeing the imprint that person, even when their parents bonded, they either broke up or it was no longer in that person's life. So the fear of not being, fear of failure, the fear of bonding have our people where all we want to do is swipe left and swipe right, Netflix, and we have a culture that just want to have a relationship where you just spend a month or two with somebody, get what you can out of it and keep moving. But you're imprinting yourself when you do that. But you have to be healed. And this is a way of handling relationship imprinting. See, imprinting is a natural part of the process of forming emotional and attachment to him. It can be influenced by past experience, relationship, causing people to look for specific traits or behaviors in their partner. Have you ever been in a relationship or you're looking for a specific trait or a specific behavior to determine whether you want to be bonded to that person or attached to that person? See, it is normal to form a strong emotional connection with a romantic partner or mate. It also can lead to unhealthy behaviors if it's not balanced with healthy boundaries and individuality. Just remember, we all want to form a strong emotional connection with a romantic partner or mate. See, a lot of times I've seen some content people talk about, certain gender is not emotional. See, the key to it is Are you emotional stable? Not emotional enough that you allow your feelings to control, because you've been imprinted by so many challenging things in your life. You've been imprinted by bad relationship or toxic relationship. You've been imprinted about bad sexual experiences or intimacy. So now you bring this in and you try to observe someone else, but you can't do that till you heal yourself. So handling relationship imprint is that if you know you have some challenges, you know you have unhealthy behavior, and you know you can't balance between healthy boundaries and individuality, there are some things that you definitely need to make sure you do. And these are some tips for handling relationship imprinting. Maintain a sense of self. As mates grow and evolve, it's important consider maladaptive coping. This will be if you raised by alcoholic parents. You may find yourself in relationship with people who also have problems with drinking. It becomes an instinctive response because it's familiar. You saw it happen, but it's unsafe. Imprinting can take many forms, including filler, sexual, and limbic imprinting. Filler imprinting is when you help infants bond with their mothers. Sexual imprinting help people find mates that are similar to their parents, but also different enough. Limbic imprinting help people to retain memories of their birth and use those memories throughout their life. Imprinting refers to an intense emotional attachment that people form toward a specific person in a romantic context. People talk about manifestation. Manifest. People say, I have faith. But faith without work is dead. It's dead faith. So some people manifest strong feelings of infatuation and a desire to be close to the person all the time. So be careful about how you use manifestation or manifest, because you can manifest strong feelings because you want to get what you had previously. You're not healed. I recommend you go through the healing process. Don't put a time frame on it. Seek counseling, seek support, seek therapy, so you can be the best version of yourself. I have. It's been awesome coming for you, talking to you tonight. God has been so good. We got a couple more advertisement we want to play. We have TriStat LLC, Mr. William Scott, the consulting firm that meets your need. Then I'm going to take the next 5 minutes to give a shout out to all those individuals who joined us. And then we'll close out.
LLC, we provide specialized business and management consulting services. TriStat LLC meets your consulting needs in the industry of engineering, accounting, research, and management service sector. Contact Mr. William Scott at 334-320-5438 or 334-526-0228.
Mr. William Scott. Give him a call for TriStat LLC, the consultant firm that meets your consultant need. The number to give Mr. Scott a call is 334-320-5438. Go to Facebook, type in William Scott. Go to Google, type in TriStat LLC. It'll populate the information, and you can contact Mr. Scott and see how he can work with your organization, your government agency, to get that grant processed, documented, so you can turn your report in, your presentation to maybe award you next year. So truly thank you, Mr. Scott, for what you're doing. Give a shout out again to Sarah Katrina Roper Smith, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, also a Mary Ruth's Restaurant co-owner. We also have Miss Bush EBS, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Shocker Blue 5, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much. Give a shout out to several other individuals joining us. Yes, Laura, thank you so much for joining us. And just kind of stroll up and give these individuals a shout out. Okay, let's see. We have that look like Michelle. We have an ID. Ranger. Thank you so much. We have Miss, kind of getting glad, Bailey. Thank you so much. Bay. Enrique, thank you so much for joining us. We have, this is like Makita Hart, thank you so much. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. Give a shout out to ABC, thank you. Regina, thank you. Jimmy, thank you for taking time. Stern, thank you. Patty, Dirty Rich, Tabitha. Also have Leon. We have a Pender. AP Enterprise. That's what that is. Wanda. Thank you. Charles. User. Charles is Charles. But then we have a user with a number. Michael Joseph. Thank you, Mike. Earl Sr. Tammy. Candace J. Candace _ J. We have the homie. Thank you so much. Michael Kelly. Jeremiah King. Stella. Kay. Dad. Thank you. Patricia. Harold. Carter. Dion. Yolanda. Miss Kia. 79. Pepper. Like Pepper Ridge. Virginia. Francis. Dixie. Dash B. We have Hadasha. Thank you. Olori. Thank you. Crazy Grandma. Okay. User. Infinity. New York City. Maria. Erica. Mike. Stephen. Okay. It's Alanisha. Thank you so much. Nivis. Morgan. Getting in with me. Getting in with thee. Thank you so much. Cedric. Charlie. Nahara Hamba. Thank you. Don. Dorita. Thank you. Victoria. Mary. Paul. Chip. Dolores. Benny. Lady J. Hatchet. Thank you so much. Carl. Briggs. Sunflower. Apple user. Christopher. Williams. William Wilson. Thank you. Vanessa. Ivy. Tracy. Apple user. Flower Girl. Frida Mitchell. Stray. Leo. Vandriel. Clay King. Scratchy. JYM Gomez. Thank you so much. Juan. JMG Thompson. User Terry Jackson. User Veronica. Leroy. John. Sherry B. I say I will give a call. PC Perez, Everett, thank you. Rosalind, thank you so much. Patty, Charles, Gina, Barrett, Banneker, Miss Hargrove, Chain, Shoes, Nevins, Akia Corner, Jonathan, Robert Gibbs, Soti, Mary, Lua, Lincoln Morgan, Sandy, Kimberly, Gina, Josh, Makia. Thank you for each of them. I'm hitting it hard. Then, appreciate all of y'all. There's many others on there. Thank you so much for joining us. We have an awesome show planned for tomorrow, and that's the Dr. Lowe Show, the real relationship talk show with no filters. And we're going to focus on just looking at some issues in dealing with relationships. We're taking topics from a relationship and is focusing on an opportunity in intimacy. Relationship intimacy is the topic we're going to talk about tomorrow. So we're really excited about that. I thank you so much for joining us. Our devices hit our hour-long time and they're going out on it. But thank you so much, each and every one of those on Facebook that join us. And we still have others on YouTube, Instagram. We have many on TikTok, Big O Live, Blog Talk Radio. Thank you so much for each and every one of y'all being a part of this. But check us out tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. That's Dr. Lowe's show, the Real Relationship Talk Show. And we're going to make it do what it do. We're going to focus on relationship issues. That's 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to let each and every one of y'all know I love you all from my heart. Hashtag responsible. Hashtag keep on grinding. Hashtag communicate for understanding. Hashtag we got this. Hashtag make it do what it do. And we're just so excited. Hashtag one life matter. And I want you to keep that in mind, as well as making sure we're putting ourselves in a position to be successful. So truly God has blessed us to become before you. And that's hashtag WVSW Radio, the internet station 23. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I want to take this opportunity to invite you for tomorrow. We will have the ability for you to be invited. Make a request as a guest tomorrow on our show, and we'll make sure we invite you. Just keep in mind, if you want to be a part of it and share your thoughts, cam up. Make sure you cam up. Then also, we're going to stay within the FCC rules. You have 2 minutes to share your thoughts because we want to get as many people in here as possible tomorrow. So thank you so much. It's been awesome coming before you, but it's time to get out of here. I'll let you know that I love you from my heart. And as we get ready to close out, we have one more advertisement that we want to play. This is from the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Zeta Phi Sigma Chapter of Greenville, Alabama. And they want to make it do what it do.
Or you can go to Instagram, and that's Sanctified Sigma Green number 10. If you go to Twitter, brother, that's Sanctified Sigma _10. Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, we're proud of you, making peace what is peace.
Give a shout out to the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. We want to thank you for being our co-sponsor on all of our shows, working with us to make us be as successful we can be. We doing this together. Thank you again, my brothers, as well as we club. We want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining us. It's been awesome. But as we do every guy, I want to tell y'all, it's coming from me. Check us out tomorrow. It's going to be at 6 o'clock. Dr. Lowe Show. I want to say to you, I love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you then. Be safe. Be blessed.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.